I started the recording.
Yeah. Okay. Today we'll see our material object and its related child objects. We are creating these materials and what are the defaults happening on the material and how the childs are created. So basically, we'll be calling material as a material or components based on its material type. So both comes under the same objects. So in some cases, we'll be calling the record as materials, and in some cases, we used to call it as a components. It's based on the MCR material type. If it is a FUT, then we'll be calling it as a material, and if it is a non-FUT, then we used to say it is a components. Okay, and it's having the child objects which are bomb as material cells orbs, and further it will have or of bomb item and material cells or language. So these are the topics we are going to cover on this or of material objects. So what are the fields, how the fields are getting populated, and from where it is getting populated. So basically, if you see, these are the four important places where the fields on the materials will get populated. So some of the fields will get populated from the templates, and some of the fields will get populated from the video version, and from some from the primary parent material, and some from the release. Okay, so along with that, so during the creation of material, we'll be creating the child materials, I mean child records on different objects like bomb header, cells of language and material attributes by default. So those records we will be getting from the or of I mean the template records. And we have other functionalities as we seen in the previous objects like submitting the material, canceling the material. And the other important thing here we have is the case type ID mapping. Okay. So yeah, let's see what are the things it's getting covered. I mean the fields which is getting populated from the template. So I'll be going to the material and I'll be creating. So here we have two templates. So you can see we have two templates. One is material and template. I mean, two record types. One is material, another one is template. Actually, the brand users don't have access to the template records, template record types. Only they have access to the material record types. So what does mean by the template record type is that it's just a reference. So what kind of material we are going to create. So we have some set of template records. So this is the reference for that material that we are going to create. So if you choose this template, so the fields will get populated on the material. Okay. So let's get one material. Yeah, I'll be choosing the template as BD, and I'll be choosing the video version, and I'll be choosing the sales data. So basically, if you see, these are the four required details to create a material. The material template, video version, and the territory. Okay. Now, when I click on save, you can see the details like multi-product account, label code, studio, and the request type, what type of material type for this material, and what type of format is this, like it, whether it's a Blu-ray format or a UHD format or a DVD format, and what type of what is the pack type for this material. You can see this is a pack type is single. So these are the fields which are getting populated on this material while creating, and where it is getting created is like I mean, from where it is getting populated is like from the template. So from the template, we have certain fields like empty request type, process ID, capacity case type, and material type, pack type. So basically, these are the fields which is getting populated from the template. Actually, if you see, this is the B record, uh, usually called as a template record. Template means a reference record. So from this reference record, so we are taking these details. So request type, material type, process ID priority, and pack type, case type, media format. So all these stuffs we are taking from the template record, and then we are stamping on the material that we are creating. So these are some fields which is getting from the template. And if you see deal, studio, label code, sublabel code, these are the security fields. So these security fields, as we seen, the security fields usually will get populated from the title. But here where it is getting populated is like, I mean, from where it is getting populated is like from the video version it is getting populated. So the video version that you have chosen, it's having the security details. So you can see, right, RF studio value, sublabel code, label code, and yeah, where it is, yeah, title. So if you see in the material that I have created, you can see that title is getting populated from the video version, and the label code studio are getting populated from the video version. So as we seen already, yeah. So how these security fields are flowing is like, see, whenever we are creating the VBOM, this is the one which already seen during the last session, and how the security fields are getting populated on the video version. So we have the npm logic for the video version. So basically the npm logic is based on the VBOM items for this for the particular video version. So whenever we are creating the video version, if it is a multiple video version, sorry, VBOM item, I mean, the video version is having the multiple VBOM items. So based on the VBOM item, we are considering the lesser label code ID, and from there we are stamping the uh, title and other security fields to the video version. So the security fields on the video version, it's getting populated from the VBOM, and from VBOM, in the VBOM, while creating the VBOM, how we are getting, how we are populating these security fields is like based on the title. So what is the title we are creating here? If it is having the active rights, then we are stamping the security fields. Else, we are taking from the user record and then stamping. So this is how the security fields is flowing to through the material. First, from the VBOMs, it will flow through the video version. So from the video version, it will get stamped to the material. Yeah. Any doubt on this securities and defaulting on the materials as of now?
So Mohan, you said brand users don't have access to create template materials, right? So do they
Yes.
come
Yeah.
from an external system?
Actually, the business will. It's not coming from the external system. The business will load their records, template records.
So who is the business?
I mean, uh,
I think the brand users.
uh, not brand
But brand
users.
users don't have access, he said.
No, brand user don't have access to create the template record, but they can have access to read the records. Okay.
Okay, so who is creating the template? Is it like one time set up by admins or is
Yes.
that created by,
Yeah, it's a
sorry?
WhatsApp setup by admin. Uh,
Okay.
and anything else? Yeah. Now, so as of now, you can see like I have created only with the video version and the templates. So from the template record, we have seen only the fields are getting populated on the material. But along with that, we have other things like child records, which is BOM header, sales org, and material attributes. So these are the three steps which we are going to create by default. So this is the reference template we have chosen, and this reference template have the BOM headers. Okay, and so basically, if you see here, the sales territory is US. No matter what, the sales territory is whether US or CA. For the BOM header, we'll be always creating for the US territory only. We won't be creating for the CA territory. For both US and CA, or both US and CA, if you choose any of these three options, we'll be creating only one BOM headers. That is the US BOM header only. Okay. So here, this is the US BOM header template record. So, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. From this BOM header. Sorry. Uh, Sorry, I got a call. Yeah, so actually the BOM headers from the template, we are going to create on the material that we are going to. So as I said, like always for the BOM headers, we'll be creating only for the US data. Actually, that is a requirement. So if you see, this is the material which I have been created, and this is a BOM headers. Okay, so which is created by default while creating the material, and where these values are coming, and how this is getting created is like from the template BOM headers. So we have the template material. If the template material is having the BOM header, and from the template BOM headers, we'll be creating the BOM header, child BOM header for the newly created material. So you can see these are these stuffs. Fields which is getting populated. Similarly, along with this BOM header, we'll be creating the material sales org. So this material sales org, again, as we seen in the video version, it contains the sales org and the sales org language informations. Again, it will come from the template. So BD is the template that we have created, and here we have. So here we have two sales org. One is for US, another one is for CA. So as we created the material for US, then the US related sales org will get cloned and it will get created under the newly created materials. And again, it will contains other groups like territory sales org, material group. So these are the fields which is getting populated from the uh, template record. So further, it will have the material sales org language. So again, it is from the template only. So if you see, this is a template record, and if this template record, the material sales org is a template record, and further it is, if it is having the material sales org language, then we will be creating it. So the only difference between video version and the material is that, so in video version, by default, we'll be creating. No matter what, whether we have yeah, no matter what, whether we have the template record or not. I mean, there is no template logic in the video version. Based on the US territory, by default, we'll be creating the sales org and sales org language with the some of the default fields. Okay, only the sales org language and territory, and then sales organization. So these are the fields we will be populating on the video version. But in the material, the template record should have the material sales org and sales org language. And basically, the user won't create what to say, the sales org BOM does everything. So whenever they are creating, by default, it should get created even in the video version as well. So whenever the user is creating the record, that time the BOM address will get created. If we ask like, again, we can create this one. Yeah, we can create, but that is not the business use cases. The BOM address won't be created by the user. So whenever it should get automatically created whenever they are creating the records. Okay. So, and we have the material attributes. So if you see here, the related here, we don't have any material attributes. So some of the logics are moved from the to the template itself. Actually, attribute contains some of the details, like you can see attribute type, attribute ID. So these stuffs are moved to what to say, to the material itself. Like if you see the media capacity. So usually the media capacity, it used to come from the material attribute, but now it is moved from, we are populating from the template itself. So we are not, we don't have nothing much to do with this material attribute. Yeah. So we'll be dealing with only the BOM address and the material sales as of now. Yeah. Any doubt? Hello.
No, Mohan, no questions.
Yeah. So now if we see, we have seen what are the defaults from the templates and what are the defaults is happening from the video version, and how these BOM headers are getting created, this cells out language, and I mean material cells or cells or language attributes are getting created. And we have other things like we have some defaults from the release. So basically what we need to do here is like, whenever we are creating a material, we need these three things like a template, video version, and this release. So if we do so, then all the fields will get populated on the material, and we'll be having, we'll good to go for the submission of the material. Else what it will happen, here you can see here, we have the, okay, this is fine, video version number is only field which is missing. Video version field is the only field which is missing. I mean, the video version number. So let me enter the video version number. So you can see that we have the all fields. So then which means we have this like show the required components missing for the JV submission. And now I'll be submitting the material. Okay. So you can observe there are something which are missing on this material cells. So basically what are those things are like the dates, the date fields and the material groups on these cells. Actually, you can see these are the date fields which are empty as well as yeah. So which is required to submit the material. Excuse me. மோனிகா மீட்டிங்ல இருக்க, நீ போயிட்டு வா, அப்பா கால் பண்ணு. Yeah, sorry. So you can see here, these are the fields. Actually, the users won't enter anything in this material cells. So it's everything will get automatically defaulted. So if you see, these are the fields which is getting defaulted from the template record, and we have the date fields. So if you see the release date, current release date. So these are the date which should come from the which has to come from the release. So basically, if you see the material which I have created, uh, don't have any release. So which means the fields are not, I mean, the date fields are not getting populated. So which is stopping us to submit the material. Now the user can add the primary release. Okay. Else they can create while creating the new material itself, the user can add the primary release. So basically the scenario is like the materials, they won't create from the standalone, they will be creating from the wizard. So from wizard, all the things, what are the required things, if there, it by default it will get populated. So now we are looking for the, I mean, we are on the standalone functionality. So let me create again one material with a primary release. Material with release. So I'll choose the primary release. Now if you see, just I created a material and where we have all the fields are updated. Now I'm submitting the material. So once I submit, yeah, if you see the material is getting submitted automatically, the user no need to do anything because all the required fields are getting populated by the different logics. So you can see these are the date fields which are coming from the release. Here we have the release. Yeah, you can see initial release date, current release date. Okay, so it's coming from this disk state date, and then yeah, discard due date. All these details are coming from this release records. So discard due date 9th 8. I mean, you can see August 9th is the discard due date, which is coming from the release record. So this is where what to say, the release, I mean the dates are defaulting from the release. Along with that, there is one more field which is getting populated on the release, which is nothing but this is release. I need to open the material. Yeah, the release type. So whether the release type is new release or a catalog release or new to format. So actually this is coming from the, I mean this value, it's based on the release project type. So we have the project type here. So if the project type is new release, then on the material we are stamping it as a new release. I mean the release type is new release. Else we'll be stamping it as a catalog. And actually new to format local acquisition. I'm not sure. We didn't come across these two scenarios as of now. So, yeah. Any questions?
Mohan, whenever we create a release, and from release we said when we create materials,
Yeah.
um, so all video version and everything when we clone for the Canada release, would that be same, or if we have to submit a different material and we will have all different video versions as well for Canada?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you come on?
So when we create a material for US release, and
Okay.
when we clone the US release for the Canada release, do
Okay.
we have to create the release materials, video versions, and everything separately for Canada release, or it will be same for the same as the US release?
No, we'll be creating separately. So only the release will get cloned, not other details like release materials video version or not get cloned. We
Okay,
need to create separately.
got it.
Yeah. This is other stuff, and we have the naming convention. As we seen, like for the video version, the same what to say, the title pack, the everything is common, but here it is a material. So in addition to the title pack episodes and special version format, so we'll be having the product account on the material. So here we can see the product account. So if you choose any of the product account, yeah, basically the naming convention for this material will happen only on this create, not during on the editor something. So I'll be choosing some other component. I mean, this DVD is a component. Why I'm saying this is a component is like the material request type here is it won't be FUT. It will be some other thing other than FUT. Okay, so let me choose product account, and I'll be choosing EMG group. I mean the external material group. Okay. So yeah, this is coming like G1200 P BD DVD9 and 1C. Okay, so here if we see that is the material type. Yeah, so material type is non-FUT. So we have material type is non-FUT. So then we used to call this as a component. And for component, we have the different naming convention. And for material, we have a different naming convention. So for component, it's similar like from the video version. Actually, how we are deriving the naming convention for video version, it's same for the material as well. But where we are taking the title is like from this video version, we are taking the titles. So basically the same name, what name video version have, the same name you will be taking. And along with that, so we'll be stamping the color type and the DVD name. So basically, which is coming from the template records. Okay, so this is a media capacity. So how the media capacity is getting populated from the template, and color type we have as where is color. So we should have color. Yeah, we have color here. So this color field also 1 and 4. 1 C, so which describes the color section, and this DVD9 is the media capacity. Actually, the media capacity and the color fields are basically coming from the I mean, it's basically for the component allowance. If you create a material, it won't get considered. Creating a material. I'll be choosing the product account. Then
ஹலோ சொல்லுப்பா. ஆஃபீஸ் மீட்டிங்ல சாரி 1 minute.
Yeah, here you can see the naming convention for the material, which consists the product account. So A6 is the product account abbreviation for the product account what we choose account, and the abbreviation are stored for the product account. We have stored in the custom settings because we have plenty of product account records we have. I mean, pick list values we have. So for each and every product accounts, we have the abbreviations. So these are stored in the custom setting. Okay. And we look more about the naming convention when we are creating from the material, because the naming convention is different for the material and the convention is different for the components. Okay. Yeah. Any doubt on this naming conventions or any other stuff as of now we have seen?
So there is no validation on material names, Mohan. We can create different materials with the same name.
Actually, from the standalone, we don't have any validation, but if we create from the wizard, we have the restrictions, so we cannot create the same name.
Okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
so by default, no one will use the standalone approach, right? Everyone is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to use the wizard.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So like we have seen what are the defaults from the templates, and it is just extending the territory. So initially we are while creating, we'll be creating only for the US territory. So later on we are extending. After extending, the material sales org also will get created for the CA. I mean, first, if you're creating for the US territory or either for CA territory, then you're extending to the both territories, then the corresponding sales org will get extended. And later, if you're trying to revoke, I mean, after extending, if you're trying to change it to a single territory, we cannot change it because that we already extended will be having the validation, like we cannot unextend the territory. Similarly, for the cancelled material, we cannot extend the territory. And yeah, this one we have seen auto creation of bomb address. So from where it is getting created and what are the fields which is getting populated. And yeah, so this is and yeah, account specific SKU. So this is a multi-product account. We have the pick list called multi-product account. So for the specific label code. So here the material which I have created, see when the user is choosing any product account, the related product account will get stamped on the multi-product account. Okay, but yeah, initially if you see, we didn't choose any product account. But if you see the multi-product account, it get populated as GRPG 1200. So how it is getting populated, it's like based on the label code. So the label code definition we have. So if it is a 89, I mean, 89 is related to Funimation. If the label code is Funimation, then the multi-product account will be stamping it as a GRP 1200. Similarly, for the shout will go on PBS label codes, or the default multi-product account will get populated. This one adding part to the bombs, creating these bombs. I will explain you this after seeing the wizard. From the wizard, I will be creating these gift set materials. So there we are creating this one. So later we will see this. Similar like the canceling material, like we have seen other objects for the draft material. If you are canceling the material, then the particular record will get deleted. For requested, we cannot cancel the material, so it has to go live. So we'll get a error. And if it is a live or changes pending, then we are canceling. Yeah, it will get updated to cancellation pending. And yeah, this is one of the important thing in this case type mapping. So basically we have seen like the case type mapping. The case type ID will come from the template record. Okay, but during the submission, the case type ID may get updated based on its related child records. So I am creating a material. So on this material having the child as bomb item. Sorry, bomb header. And this bomb header further having child as a bomb item. So if you see, this is how this is the parent. I mean, this is the parent record. This is the child record, and further it's having the child record. And again, the bomb item is child for the materials. So basically, these two objects will behave like a junction object. So for example, this is material 1, this is material 2, and we have the material 3. Okay. So if we have such kind of relationship, actually the bomb item is the junction object between the bomb header and the material object. So we have the material and we have the child as a bomb header. Further, it has child as a bomb item, and it is having the parent as the material 1, 2, 3. So basically, 3 bomb items will be. We are having 3 bomb items here. We are having 3 bomb items. So basically, how it will be defined is like, so there is a single material, and it is having 3 child materials. But how we are saying it is the how this material 1, material 2, and material 3 are child of material 1 is like, so this is how it is related. Okay, and so for this case type ID calculation, if we are having these child materials, yeah, then we need to consider the the case type ID from the template is no more valid, and it will get updated based on this number of child materials we have, and it is stored in the custom metadata record. Okay, so custom setting. We have the custom setting called material case type map. So we have saved this case type ID over there. Okay. We need three things to calculate the case type ID on the material. So basically, if you see the case type ID for this material, it's getting stamped from the template while creating. So this is getting stamped from the template while creating, but during submission, it will get changed. So when the material will be submitted, when it is ready, the users know when it is ready. They can add the child components, all those things. If the user needs to create from the standalone, like they need to go to the particular related and they need to go to the bomb header, and from the bomb header, they need to go to the related bomb item. So from this bomb item, they need to choose the child material here. So they can choose the child material here, and yeah, they can create. So which means the material record is having the material with release as the child material. So this is how the user needs to create it from the standalone, but it is very difficult here. From the wizard, it's easy to create. So let me explain you while creating from the wizard. So let's come to this case type mapping. For this case type calculation, we need three things. One is case type calculation, and then number of disk, and then we need to have template. Okay. So first, we know the template. What is the template for this material? How this material is being created? We have created this material by using the BD template. So then the template is BD. Okay, and number of disk. So number of disk is calculated based on its child material. So how many material we have here? So we have, so assume that we have 6 child materials. Out of this 6 child material, how many disk components are there? How we are considering, we know, right, components. So components means where the material type not FUT, correct? So basically not FUT means we used to call it as a components. It means when the material type is ALB. ALB is nothing but a non-FUT. So basically we used to call it as a component. Further, it classified as disk component. So whenever we are having the material type, MCR material type is ALB, then we used to call it as a disk component. So we have ALB here. Again, we can have a FUT as well. So here we have what to say again. So out of this 6 child material, how many ALB components are there? So which is basically said as disk components. So we have 2. So the number of disk is 2, and this case type calculation. This case type calculation, again it is calculated based on the external material group on the child item. Okay, so we have, let me show that thing. We have this external material group, right? So we have plenty of external material group values here. Okay, so based on this external material group value, we'll be calculating either the case type calculation is OCOD or slip case, neither. So when we are saying this case type calculation is OCOD, whenever the external material group value, is yeah, whenever the external material group value is mostly tip-on packaging, and lenticular wool slip. If out of these three values, if any one of the value is there, then we will be considering the case type calculation is O slip. If we have slip case, here external material, if we have slip case, then we are considering the case type calculation as slip case here. Okay, and we have nothing else apart from these four values: O slip, tip-on packaging, lenticular wool slip, and slip case. Like if you say other than this, like spit or shout something, then we'll be considering case type calculation as neither. Okay, but we should choose only one. We may have a case like, see, for this material we'll be having the O sleeve, so will be the case type calculation is O card, and for this material we have the external material group value of slip case, and we'll be again having the slip case, and again we here also we are having the slip case. Here we are having the lenticular O slip, and here we are having the neither. For this you have the neither. You can see here. This is the material we are going to submit. It is having the 6 child records, and this 6 child records is having different external material group, and the case type calculation will be different for each and every material. So which one we need to choose? Always we should give preference for the O code. If any one of the child material is having O code related external material group, then the final case type calculation is O code. Okay, so else if you are having the slip case here also we are having the slip case here, then we need to go for the slip case. The final case type calculation is slip case. Neither, then only we'll going for the neither. So this is the priority we are giving for the case type calculation, like workout, slip case, and neither. Yeah. Any doubt on this calculation of number of disks and case type calculation as of now?
No, Mohan, nothing from my side.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how the case type calculation is calculated. So we need these three things to calculate the case type ID, to populate the case type ID on the material. Okay. So this is the record we have. I mean, this is the custom setting records, which is being loaded in the arc. Okay. So let me see what is template here. Yeah. Okay. So you can see we have the BD template, and yeah, this is the material which is having the two child components as I described here. A material is having the two child components, and where the external material group is discard. So we have both are discard. So if both are discard means the case type calculation will be neither. Okay, and here the template is BD, and we are having two disk. Actually, this is a ALB component. By the naming itself, we can say whether this is ALB, because only for the ALB components we'll be having the D1 and D2, which is nothing but disk 1 and disk 2. So the number of disk is 2. So this is the case type calculation. So we have the custom setting record, the BD template, the number of disk is 2, and the case type calculation is neither. So for this, what is the case type ID? 482 double BD case that will be stamping on the case type ID. And there is a reference template. There is a reference template number, which is for US and CA. As I said, like we will be creating only for the US bomb. So we'll be stamping this reference template on the bomb headers. So if you see here, this is the material which have been submitted. and we have the reference template number. So if you see here, it is not getting stamped in. Okay, so during submission, it should get stamped. So in such a way that data has to be there. Then only we can able to populate the reference template number on this BOM method. Why this is important is like we will be having these. Yeah, we'll be having the submit BOM. During the submit BOM, the material is not ready. So why this is not ready is like there are some missing fields on the BOM address, like this reference template number. So when the reference template number is there, then we can able to submit the BOMs. So we can see the submission of BOMs in the next session, because in next session we will create from the wizard. There we can see this submission of the BOMs. So during the submission of the BOMs, then only we are creating the SBOMs, other stuff. So the data has to be created from the standalone. It will take time to create such kind of material because we don't have any filter conditions. But from the wizard, if you are creating, then we can create a proper data. It won't stop us. I mean, it won't waste our time. So it's an easy part to create, and from there we can, after creating from the wizard, then we can submit. Yeah. Any doubt as of now? So yeah, these are the topics for the materials, and only the submitting BOM is pending, and the creating SBOM is pending from the material. So that we can see after we come across from the wizard. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Mohan.
Thank you, Mohan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mohan.